Wet start. Much of the Midwest and South are set for soaking today, and the rain is pushing east. Find out when it's affecting your morning commute.
Tumbling temperatures. It's going to be a shock to the system as temperatures drop by as much as 30 degrees. We'll show you where the cold air is invading.
And survival story. When Superstorm Sandy began flooding his home, one man literally paddled his way to safety on a boogie board. He joins us live with his amazing story next on Morning Rush. Good morning, everyone. Monday, November 12, 2012. Welcome into Morning Rush. I'm Mike Bettis.
And I'm Maria LaRosa. We are live from the Weather Channel headquarters down in Atlanta. We're so glad you can join us for this first edition of Morning Rush.
Also joined this morning by our Stephanie Abrams. She's live in our New York studio. Steph, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning to you guys. We're going to start you off in Kansas, where severe storms rolled through that state over the weekend. Take a look at the rain that's sweeping across parking lots in McPherson. The Sunflower State saw heavy rain, lightning, high winds, and hail that was dime to quarter size. For a look at what we expect today, here's Maria.
All right, well, it may not be hail, but it's certainly going to be some cold rain. Places like Detroit, it's on its way. Temperatures right now into the 50s, but you see the pink showing up on the radar. That corresponds to that wintry precipitation, whether it's snow, maybe a little bit of sleet, or that transition zone. It is all marching off to the east. Look at the temperatures. Detroit, 57 degrees. Chicago, 33. So some point, Grand Rapids, Fort Wayne, and Detroit, all of this is moving towards your area. So you're out the door now and you're thinking 57, cool, but by later on in the evening rush, you're going to be dealing with temperatures into the 30s. We've got rain, steady batch of it from Evansville all the way into Cincinnati, down into Bowling Green. So 65, 75, kind of a wet mess here. And again, if you're not seeing the rain just yet off to your west, it is on the move, including Huntsville, Chattanooga. You're on the eastern side of this, so you're not seeing the full-on steady rain just yet. It is coming. Atlanta too, Columbus, Montgomery, all in that dry area, but here it comes Birmingham, all the way down as you head towards Meridian to Tupelo. You're on the back edge, so seeing things let up just a little bit. Seeing a little bit of thunder and some lightning here south of New Orleans right now, but it is continuing to push off to the east, so a little bit of a mixed bag for your morning time here. But it is definitely the storm tracking to the east. It is on the move. Along with that, we've seen wind, in some cases gusting that 30, 40 mile per hour range. So that's just adding to the not feeling so great outside. Charleston, though, you're at 69, Atlanta in the 71. Say goodbye to that as that front pushes off to the east by Tuesday. It's in Bangor, it's in New York City, it's in D.C., down to Raleigh. Temperatures dropping from highs today into the 60s. We'll get into the 50s. Mike?
Well, let's go hour by hour with your forecast now and let you know exactly what you can expect here in the Midwest. It's going to be awfully rainy for you across the Ohio Valley. That'll include most of the lower peninsula of Michigan, right down through Ohio and Indiana. A real mess for you today in a lot of places. 61, though, in Cleveland. You're on the warm side of the front. 39 degrees for you in Chicago at lunchtime. Watch for the snow here. Marquette back toward Minneapolis. St. Louis into Kansas City. Your forecast is dry, similar for you in Louisville. But again, you notice the temperatures. They've really tumbled for you. And tonight, by midnight, you're down to 32 degrees in Cleveland after enjoying the first half of your day being very, very warm. But watch, it will be windy today. We'll take you to the south now. Watch for the fog in Atlanta. It may slow you down at Hartsfield, Jackson, maybe on the roadways as well. Temperatures in the mid-50s. The tail end of that front comes all the way down through the Gulf Coast, meaning we could have some showers in New Orleans. Temperatures for you will be in the mid-60s at lunchtime. Notice through Florida, pretty dry day for us today, looking good. Damp Tampa down toward Miami. Late day, here come the showers for you across West Virginia, down through the Carolinas, and portions of Georgia as well. Now into the Northeast. Fog could also be an issue for you today in a place like New York, Bangor. Windy for us in Burlington, so heads up on what could be a very brisk morning for you. Temperatures this afternoon, very mild ahead of that front. It looks terrific today. 60 for you at lunchtime in New York, almost 70 degrees in Syracuse. You'll do low 70s for highs this afternoon. Most of us staying dry through the day. The exceptions will be back near Pittsburgh, where you'll see the showers first, and then it progresses its way eastbound. Tonight, you'll have the showers the Capital District down through, say, Baltimore and Washington, D.C. Overnight tonight, the rain eventually gets you New York up toward Boston and Bangor, which means tomorrow morning's commute could be awfully slow. Speaking of that commute, let's find out what's happening right now with Maria.
All right, we're giving you everything you need to know to get in the air, on the road, and you can find it this time of day, so you are well armed with all the information to get you out the door. We're going to start with in the air. Take a look at some of the airport delay potential here in the New York Metro. You've got all of the major airports reporting ground stops, and that's when you're finding those little circling airplanes. So it's having a tough time getting into the New York Metro area because of some dense fog. Last check, JFK was reporting less than a quarter-mile visibility. So that is a big issue, especially so early on. But we could see that improve as we get in the afternoon. So let's give you the heads up. When you see this map, red means impact will be great here. You've got New York, JFK included in that. Yellow, moderate airport delays expected from Minneapolis to Pittsburgh to Atlanta. When you see the green, you're good to go. If you have an X through it, the airport's closed. So right now, it's those areas that are seeing the weather from Pittsburgh to Atlanta this afternoon that'll see the delays. Potentially here in Minneapolis as well, you've got the clouds. The visibility is pretty good right now. You've got temperatures though, my goodness, 19 degrees. So no doubt you've got any precipitation falling as snow today through the mid-morning into the lunch hour. It's later on this afternoon. You've got some sunshine coming out. Steph?
Well, we are tracking a big dip in temperatures in parts of the Midwest this morning. That includes Chicago, where they're seeing a drop of more than 30 degrees in 24 hours. Mike Seidel is in the Windy City with the very latest on that. And Mike, even some snowflakes falling this morning, but that has since ended.
That has ended. We still have the cold, gusty west wind. Our temperature right now across the Chicagoland area in the low 30s, and our wind chills in the low 20s. But remember back in March, we were out here live on the lakefront. We started a long heat wave, 8 out of 9 days above 80. It was the warmest March on record, and that brought thousands out to Lakeshore Drive, the running, the biking trails, even had folks on the beach putting their toes. Well, she almost put her toes in the water. Water temperature at that point was about 40, but a tremendous stretch of weather. And back on St. Patty's Day, I was here for the parade. It was 82 degrees. And then it was a pretty toasty summer. So this is going to be our coldest afternoon since before the heat wave. That was back on March 5th when we topped out at 37 degrees. Take a look at your 5-day forecast. Again, windy cold today, going nowhere because we've got cold advection offsetting whatever sunshine we get today. That 41 was at midnight at O'Hare. We've been dropping ever since, now down to 33 in the area. Some spots down around 30 in the Chicagoland area. Tomorrow morning, 26 is the coldest morning so far this season, but the record is 6, so we're a far cry from the record. And for the rest of the week, our temperatures will head up into generally the upper 40s, which is just a couple of degrees below freezing. But Stephanie, after a very warm weekend, 70 yesterday, just off the record of 74, quite a change for the morning rush hour here in Chicago. Back to you in New York.
Yeah, but it could always be colder in Chicago. I think what you said, the record, I think Mike said the record low for this morning was 6 below. Coming up next, thousands of people remain without power following Sandy. Another question, what to do with people who have lost their homes? The latest on the storm response coming up. And we've got more on the cold temperatures. We're going to show you who's really feeling the chill, plus go inside a high-tech lab that's investigating the science behind the deadly mudslide after your local on the 8s.